Hello children, welcome to this one-page explanation where we are going to introduce the idea of glands. Now a gland is simply something that produces a product, and they are having the secretory cells, and these cells are either scattered or present in groups. Okay, in groups they are known as the glands. Okay, now simply when we are talking about glands, the glands are of two kinds: exocrine gland and endocrine gland. So here the exocrine means outside, okay, exit, okay, and endocrine means inside. Okay, so from here we will be talking exocrine and endocrine one by one. So when we talk about exocrine, exocrine will excrete its product via a duct. Via a duct means a tube like structure. So here we are going to talk about the skin. Okay, so the skin is having a surface. Okay, so this is the surface. Okay, and here is the epithelial cell, and this is the duct which is going inside. Okay, this is the duct which is going inside. Okay, so here you can see that these are the multicellular one. Okay, and they are embedded inside the epithelial. You can say the hypodermis is there and the dermis is there, and from there they will be secreting the hormone. Okay, now when we talk about the hormones, what happens, they come out through the duct outside. Okay, now here they will come out. Understood? So they must be coming outside. So exocrine gland is having the duct. Okay, and this is the sweat gland. Skin is having the sweat gland. This is the sweat gland which is embedded inside, and then the secretion will be outside. Okay, this is the outside, that is the sweat gland will secrete the secretion, and then the sweat will come out. Another example is of the respiratory epithelium. Respiratory epithelium, that means in the respiratory system there will be the cells. Okay, these are the cells, and inside that they will have the secretion. Okay, so they are the ciliated one, and they are having the secretion here. Okay, and they are single cell structures inside the respiratory tract. Okay, so there they will secrete the mucus. Okay, mucus is a sticky substance which is secreted from the respiratory tract. Okay, now the next one is what, some more examples you can easily understand with this, that are the mammary gland. Mammary gland is there, and some more things there, that is a salivary gland from where the saliva comes out. Okay, so these are the exocrine glands. Okay, salivary gland and the mammary gland. Now children, we are going to talk about the endocrine glands. Endocrine glands are known as the ductless gland because they don't have the tube-like structure to release the chemicals. Okay, in this case here you can see that the sweat gland is having the tube-like structure to release, but in case of endocrine they are having, they don't have the duct to release the hormone. So what is that done? They are having the producer cells. Okay, they are having the producer cells, and they will secrete the chemical product or the chemical secretions, or you can say the hormones. Okay, these are the hormones. Okay, directly into the blood. Directly, you can see here, this is the capillaries. Okay, capillaries are there. So in this they will be directly getting poured inside the blood stream. Okay, so they will be coming here. So they will be coming here. In this way they will keep on moving. Okay, now when they will keep on moving, what happens, as I have told you, they are mixed into the blood, and now the blood will carry it. When they are getting carried, then they are having the target cells. Okay, and these cells are known as the receptors. They are known as the receptors. Okay, so basically they will be receiving. Okay, now what happens when these are moving? Okay, so what happens, there are so many receptor cells around them. Okay, now you can see here the receptor cells are here. They are having this kind of structure. These all are the cells. Here you can see that the structure of the different secretory, that is the hormones, they are having the circular structure. But here you can see that they are here the square is there. Okay, the receptors are having the square shape. Here is the triangle. So they will keep on moving until they will get the proper shape receptor. Okay, like here you can see they are having the exact shape. So they will move around everywhere, but they will get attached where they will be perfect one. Here the lock and key system will go on. Okay, here the lock and key system will go on because the receptor will get attached to the particular shape only. Okay, suppose this is the circular one, so they will get attached to the circular one only. Here that is a square shape, here is the triangle one. Okay, so they won't get here, they will get attached here. So this is known as the target one, target receptor, and there they will show their action. And when they will enter inside, what will happen? This was the primary message what they were carrying, and then inside there will be the secondary message. Okay, so secondary message, so what happens with the secondary message? They will start giving changes inside the cell. Okay, the changes will be done inside the cell, and that is called the secondary messenger system. Okay, it will be known as the secondary messenger system. Okay, so in response to that secondary messenger system, what will happen? The metabolism will increase, or it will affect on the metabolism. Suppose this is the mitochondria. So what happened? They will start releasing more and more energy for the physiology. Okay, for functioning. So this is the way when the hormones are working on it. Okay, so endocrine glands are the ductless gland, and they will secrete the chemicals or the hormones into the blood, and via blood they will reach to the target cell. Okay, so in this way the endocrine system will work. Okay, so altogether they will do control and coordination. The timing, the performance, these all will be perfectly coordinated with the help of this endocrine glands. Now children, let's study about the hormones. Okay, now what is hormones? Hormones are the chemical regulators, or also you can say chemical messengers. In the previous video, I have told you about the chemical coordination. So basically the chemical coordination is done by the chemical regulators or chemical messengers. Now as I have told you before that the hormones are the chemical messengers, and they go and work on the target cell only, or target receptors only. So here you can see they are produced by the ductless glands or endocrine glands and are poured directly into the blood. So they get circulated through the body but influence the specific organ. So here they are having so many characteristics. So one by one we will study. Before that, I want to tell you that some hormones are secreted outside the body. Okay, here earlier exocrine and endocrine we have talked about, but in that case was different. That means inside the body only it is going on. Okay, but certain hormones are there which are released outside the body. Okay, and they are known as pheromones or ectohormones. Okay, when there is some sort of situation like that which needs some sort of response, so to give the indication, these hormones are secreted. Okay, just like the sex hormones. Okay, or the mating behavior, or the alarm reaction in the insects. Okay, so that is the pheromones or the ectohormones they are known as. Okay, now moving towards another topic, that is the characteristic of hormones. First thing, it is secreted directly into the blood because they don't have tube-like structure to pour the blood on the specific organ directly. No, but it is directly poured into the blood. Now blood will carry it to different parts of the body in a systemic circulation. Okay, so there they will go on and getting circulated in the whole body. Second characteristic is that produce in one organ but affects other organs. Okay, that means they are known as the target organ. So where they are getting secreted, from where they are getting secreted, they will not affect that organ, but they will be affecting other organ, that is called the target organ. Third is what? They are secreted in very small amount. Okay, it is not like enzymes or the digestive juices that you need continuous secretion and continuous action of that, and more amount is required for the digestion process. No, these are the chemicals which are released in very small amount but have tremendous effect. Okay, as you have studied in that previous video also, that is the chemical messengers are there. They are having the long term effect, and but the amount is very less, secreted very less. So very less amount but tremendous effect it will give, and the permanent effect. Now the fourth one is what? Destroyed soon after their action. Once their action is over, they will get destroyed. Okay, so that is also a characteristic of hormone. Hyper or hypo, that means hypersecretion and hyposecretion, both will cause the disorder in the body. Okay, if there will be more secretion, then that will be also, and less secretion, both conditions are not suitable and they will lead to the disorder. And the last one, that is the chemically hormones are made up of proteins. Okay, they are made up of proteins or the amino acid derivatives. Okay, though, so the unit of protein is amino acid. So the chemicals which are derived from the amino acids, they are forming the hormones. So basically hormones are the proteins or the amino acid derivative. So for conclusion, here the characteristics secreted directly into the blood, produce in one organ but affects other organs, small amount but give the tremendous effect and the permanent effect, and destroyed soon after their action is over. Hyper and hypo, that means more secretion and less secretion, both will cause disorder in the body. And the last one, chemically hormones are proteins and amino acid derivatives. Now children, let's talk about the differences between the exocrine and endocrine glands. First, exocrine glands are with ducts and endocrine glands are without ducts. Okay, the tube-like structure which comes out from the glands, that is present in the exocrine, and endocrine, they don't have the ducts. Second is secretion are poured in some cavity through the ducts, whereas in endocrine gland secretions are released directly into the blood. Already I have discussed more about this. Then secretions are digestive juices or biological catalysts, also known as the enzymes. Okay, so exocrine, the digestive juices are there which help in the digestion of food. Basically they are exocrine glands, whereas in endocrine glands they are the hormones or the chemical messengers. Fourth, these have brief effect, that is the exocrine has brief effects, that means not long term effect. Okay, once the food is digested, then the effect is over. Food will move on after the digestion process. Then endocrine glands are having the prolonged effect, that means a permanent effect. Okay, then fifth one is what? Exocrine secretions are produced in large quantities. Okay, the exocrine glands will produce the secretion in large quantities because continuous the work has to be done. The digestion process has to be done. Okay, whereas in endocrine glands the secretion is are in very small quantities, but giving the tremendous effect. And the sixth one is what? Small changes in the quantity of secretion causes no disorder. In which case, in exocrine glands, that means the enzymes, if they are secreted less or more, that will not have a disorder kind of situation. But in case of endocrine glands, if the secretion is not in balanced way, that means either it is in the secretion is more or over secretion or less secretion than the required, then they will have the disorders or abnormalities in the body, and those abnormalities and disorders will have the permanent effect. I mean the permanent change will be there. Now when we talk about the examples of the exocrine glands, there are the salivary gland, gastric glands, intestinal glands, sebaceous glands, and the sweat glands. Salivary glands, you know, saliva, Then gastric glands, that is the glands which are present in the stomach and help in the digestion. Intestinal glands, that is secreted into the intestine. During the digestion process, its work goes on. Then sebaceous gland are the oil glands which releases oil, and they are the responsible for acne and pimples on your face. Then the last one is the sweat glands, which releases sweat from your body. And when we talk about the endocrine glands, the thyroid glands is there, pituitary gland, adrenal gland, pancreas, ovaries, and the testes. One by one, we will study in other videos. Okay. One more thing I want to tell you, that is one gland is there which acts in both ways, that is exocrine gland and endocrine gland according to the requirement. So that one is called the heterocrine gland, and the example is pancreas. Pancreas is known as the heterocrine gland because it behaves in both ways. Exocrine gland, just like they are release enzymes during the digestion process, and endocrine gland, it releases insulin and glucagon for the blood sugar level. So that we will talk in detail in the when we will study about the pancreas.